Get ready to uncover some hidden treasures. Today, we're diving into 15 underrated games that slipped through the cracks but are packed with unforgettable stories, epic gameplay, and pure magic. Trust me, you don't want to miss these. Before we reveal these gems, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. It's your ticket to discovering more gaming gold. Now, let's dive in. Let's kick things off with A Plague Tale: Innocence, a game that blends haunting atmosphere with a deeply emotional narrative. Set during the Black Death in 14th century France, the game follows Amicia and her younger brother Hugo as they try to survive not just the plague, but also the horrors of an oppressive inquisition. What really makes this game shine is its ability to weave heartfelt character development into a survival action framework. You feel Amicia's desperation to protect her brother, and Hugo's innocence in the face of overwhelming darkness adds a poignant layer to the story. With unique rat swarming mechanics that add both tension and puzzle-solving elements, A Plague Tale sets itself apart from other action adventures. Despite its high-quality storytelling and immersive gameplay, it flew under the radar for many players. This could be due to its release during a crowded year, where AAA titles stole the spotlight. But let me tell you, this is an experience that deserves your full attention. It's visually stunning, emotionally gripping, and a must-play for any fan of narrative-driven games.
First time was already too much. Let's go.
I made it.
You've been mistaken again.
Oh.
Kingdom Come: Deliverance is one of the most ambitious historical RPGs ever made, offering a deeply realistic medieval experience. Unlike most fantasy-based RPGs, this game stays grounded in history, with a focus on realistic swordplay, political intrigue, and survival in a harsh world. You play as Henry, the son of a blacksmith, who is thrown into the chaos of a kingdom at war. The lack of magic or mythical creatures doesn't make this game any less immersive. In fact, the realism is what sets it apart. While the game was critically praised for its historical accuracy and depth, the steep learning curve and a rough launch full of bugs left it in the shadows of bigger titles. But if you're willing to stick with it, this game rewards you with a sprawling narrative, richly detailed world, and hundreds of hours of exploration and side quests. It's the kind of game where your choices really matter, and that alone makes it a gem for RPG fans. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice is nothing short of a masterpiece. What sets this game apart is its focus on mental health, with Senua's journey being as much a battle with her own mind as it is against external foes. The game uses cutting-edge sound design to simulate auditory hallucinations, putting you right into the mind of a character battling psychosis. Hellblade's combat is simple but impactful, and the visual style is hauntingly beautiful, blending Norse mythology with dark, psychological horror. Despite its brilliance, the game didn't catch on with the mainstream. Maybe it's because it's more of an artistic experience than a traditional action game, but that's exactly why it deserves more attention. If you want something truly different, a game that gets under your skin and makes you think, this is it. When Rage 2 dropped, it had all the potential to be a blockbuster, but it ended up as one of the most overlooked open-world shooters in recent years. With frenetic, fast-paced combat that's as explosive as it is satisfying, this game is like a fever dream of neon colors and mayhem. It took the formula of the original Rage and supercharged it, giving players a chaotic playground filled with mutants, factions, and apocalyptic craziness. However, Rage 2 struggled to find its audience. Many people compared it to the giants of the open-world genre and found it lacking in depth, but what people miss is the sheer fun of its moment-to-moment gameplay. If you're looking for something that feels like a hybrid of Doom and Mad Max with a punk rock attitude, this is a shooter that deserves your attention. Quantic Dream's Detroit Become Human is a game that lives and dies by the choices you make, offering a branching narrative that leads to a staggering number of possible endings. Set in a future where androids have become part of everyday life, the game explores complex themes of humanity, identity, and freedom. You switch between three main characters, each with their own arc that intertwines beautifully as the story progresses. Despite its engaging narrative, the game was polarizing, with some players not appreciating the heavy focus on storytelling over traditional gameplay. But for fans of interactive storytelling, Detroit is an emotional roller coaster. With stunning visuals and characters you grow attached to, it's a game that will make you question your own decisions long after the credits roll.
One in your fucking program? Huh? Is that how you see humans, you bastard? Jesus.
I understand you're upset. Perhaps I didn't assess the situation.
Fuck you and your fucking assessment. Come here.
Why are you doing this?
All right.
You're one of us.
Shut up.
You're helping humans. But you're just their slave.
I said shut up!
Yakuza 0 is a prequel to the long-running Yakuza series and is one of the best crime dramas you'll find in gaming. Set in the 1980s, this game combines intense street brawling with a gripping story about loyalty, betrayal, and the criminal underworld. The absurdity of its side content, from managing a real estate empire to singing karaoke, only adds to its charm. But for some reason, Yakuza 0 never broke into the mainstream. Maybe the Yakuza series has always been seen as a niche title outside of Japan, but this game is a hidden gem for anyone who loves a good mix of action, drama, and pure fun. Plus, the combat is fluid and engaging, and the world feels alive in a way that's rare for action games. Sunset Overdrive is a colorful, over-the-top shooter that never took itself too seriously, and that's what makes it amazing. Set in a dystopian future where a contaminated energy drink has turned people into mutants, the game lets you grind, jump and blast your way through a chaotic open world. The gameplay is pure fun, with parkour-like movement and weapons that are as ridiculous as they are effective. Unfortunately, Sunset Overdrive didn't get the attention it deserved, possibly because it was an Xbox One exclusive at a time when the platform was struggling. But don't let that stop you. If you're in the mood for a game that's all about style, humor, and fast-paced action, this one is a must-play.
Okay, this is gonna be fun.
Post-apocalyptic games are a dime a dozen, but Days Gone manages to stand out with its emotional depth and unique take on the zombie survival genre. You play as Deacon St. John, a drifter trying to survive in a world overrun by zombie-like creatures called Freakers. What makes Days Gone special is its mix of a beautifully harsh open world, dynamic weather, and a story that's more about relationships than just survival. Deacon's personal struggles and his loyalty to those he loves make this a standout narrative experience. Despite having all the elements of a great game, compelling story, vast open world, and satisfying combat, it was criticized for being a bit rough around the edges at launch. But with post-launch updates, Days Gone has become a polished and thoroughly enjoyable experience. This is a must-play for any fan of open-world games looking for something with heart. Telltale Games knocked it out of the park with The Wolf Among Us, a gritty, noir-style detective story set in a world where fairy tale characters live among us. You play as Bigby Wolf, the sheriff of Fabletown, as he tries to solve a brutal murder. The game's CL-shaded art style and gripping narrative make it feel like a comic book brought to life, and the dialogue choices give you a real sense of control over the story. But despite critical acclaim, The Wolf Among Us never reached the popularity of other Telltale titles like The Walking Dead. Maybe it's because of the niche subject matter, but if you're a fan of crime dramas or detective stories, this game is a hidden gem that offers a dark and twisted story you won't soon forget. At first glance, Spec Ops: The Line looks like your standard military shooter, but beneath the surface, it's a psychological thriller that explores the horrors of war in a way few games dare. Set in a devastated Dubai, the game forces you to question your actions as the story spirals into madness. The decisions you make carry a heavy moral weight, and by the end, you'll be rethinking everything you did. Though it received critical praise for its storytelling, Spec Ops: The Line never gained the commercial success it deserved, possibly due to its misleading marketing as just another shooter. But make no mistake, this is one of the most thought-provoking and impactful games of the last decade. If you want a game that challenges you emotionally and mentally, look no further.
Target neutralized!
Up on that highway sign!
Priority target!
Empty that bus. Flash and clear.
Enemy! We gotta take out that gunner! Oh shit! Adams is down! Tango, down for the count!
What Remains of Edith Finch is a beautifully crafted, emotional experience that explores the tragic history of the Finch family. Each chapter of the game is a vignette of a different family member, and the storytelling is as unique as it is heartbreaking. The game constantly shifts its mechanics to match the tone of each character's story, creating a deeply immersive experience. Despite winning several awards, Edith Finch is often overlooked because of its short length and walking simulator label. But this game is a masterpiece of interactive storytelling, and its emotional depth makes it an unforgettable journey. If you're a fan of narrative-driven games, this is a must-play.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
The Evil Within takes survival horror back to its roots with grotesque enemies, limited resources, and a story that blurs the line between reality and nightmare. Directed by Shinji Mikami, the creator of Resident Evil, this game is a twisted, heart-pounding experience that challenges players at every turn. However, The Evil Within didn't catch on with a broader audience, possibly due to its old-school mechanics and steep difficulty curve. But for hardcore horror fans, this game is a hidden gem that offers a terrifying, rewarding experience. If you're looking for a horror game that will keep you on edge from start to finish, The Evil Within is worth your time. Before we jump into the last 3 games, if you're enjoying this list so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We've got tons more gaming content coming your way, and you won't want to miss out. Now, let's get back to the games. Sleeping Dogs is an open-world crime game set in the vibrant streets of Hong Kong, where you play as an undercover cop trying to take down a dangerous triad. The hand-to-hand combat is incredibly satisfying, and the story balances gritty crime drama with moments of personal connection and loyalty. Despite its critical success, Sleeping Dogs didn't reach the same heights as other open-world games like GTA or Watch Dogs. Maybe it was the lack of marketing or simply the timing of its release, but this game deserves more attention. If you're a fan of action-packed games with a strong narrative, Sleeping Dogs is one you don't want to miss. Here's a game that many will agree was criminally underrated, Titanfall 2. Combining fast-paced parkour movement with giant mechs, the game's single-player campaign is one of the best you'll find in any shooter. It's short but incredibly well-crafted, with standout moments like the time manipulation mechanic that makes the gameplay feel innovative and fresh. So why didn't Titanfall 2 catch on? It's largely due to its unfortunate release window, sandwiched between 2 massive games, Call of Duty and Battlefield. But if you're looking for a shooter with tight mechanics, a memorable campaign, and a fantastic multiplayer experience, Titanfall 2 is an absolute must-play. Finally, we have Mad Max, an open-world action game that perfectly captures the post-apocalyptic, desert wasteland vibe of the Mad Max universe. You play as Max, of course, and the game focuses heavily on vehicular combat, with customizable cars that you use to battle enemies across a sprawling, desolate landscape. Despite its solid gameplay and strong connection to the Mad Max films, this game flew under the radar for many players. It may not have reinvented the wheel when it comes to open-world design, but Mad Max offers a raw, gritty experience that fans of the franchise will love. If you enjoy open-world games with a focus on combat and survival, this is a game that deserves your time. And that's our list of 15 underrated games that deserve way more attention. Whether you're looking for emotional narratives, tight gameplay, or worlds that are begging to be explored, these games offer something truly special. If you enjoyed this list, make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment with your favorite hidden gem, and share the video with your fellow gamers. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.